Hello everybody, it's Vyse here, and today what I wanted to do is kind of go over how to play Vyse. Um, Now again, I'm talking kind of about like this whole kind of series where basically I'm just going through how to play each agent, how I play each agent, tips that I have found on each agent. I've played every agent in the game at a pretty high level, like collegiate tier 3. So I'm not saying that I'm like an insane goated player, but I'm a peak immortal 3. I know what I'm talking about. And yeah, let's get started. So first thing I want to talk about is Vyse's flash. Mouse 2, you can throw it through things. Mouse 1, you just throw it on the ground. Doing a flash like this is actually pretty useful. We've seen a lot of pros do flashes like this where it's just on the ground because no one really expects it to be there, right? A lot of the times, for example, over towards this like C-bomb site, right? You would kind of expect the flash to be somewhere here, right? So you try to pre-aim and shoot those spots, but you're definitely not going to pre-aim this. And also, putting it here pretty much grants you a flash for every single situation, right? For example, you're jumping up plat. This is a one-way flash. Swing garage, kill that guy. Right? You're sitting here again. Boom, blinds that guy. Also blinds this guy running out. Again, same kind of premise. Blinds, boom. Blinds this guy. Blinds that guy. Blinds pretty much every person that you could possibly think I was going to hit with this flash, right? Now, the wall, pretty simple. I can't really demonstrate it, right? But if you go over it, it activates. It's up for roughly like 7 seconds, I think, or something like that. Could be even longer, to be honest. And then we have the Razor Thorns, which everyone knows because they're annoying. They're big as fuck. You take a lot of damage per tick. I believe it's 6. And you make loud ass noise. So it's info, it's damage, it's stall. It's just so many things. The Thorns are honestly, in my opinion, the best part of her kit. All right. Next, we need to understand the ultimate. Okay, here's the thought process, right? You could use this ultimate to pretty much guarantee a gun round, right? It hits everything. Anyone after that pops is going to only be able to use their secondary. But here's the thing, right? If you have this ult and you're up numbers on an eco or you have like decent guns recovered or something like that, rip the ult, okay? Putting you in a, if you are in a disadvantage, like a gun disadvantage, and you can even out that disadvantage with the ultimate and potentially win the round, that is so important, right? Thrifties in this game win you games, right? So being able to put yourself in a better position to do those, pretty similar to like using jet knives on an eco, using chamber op on an eco. It's kind of the same premise, right? You're equaling out the gun advantage and putting yourself in the advantage rather than the disadvantage, and then there you go. You can win easy rounds. So, all right. The first thing that I want to talk about is this flash is not hard info, okay? It is soft information most of the time, right? Basically, what you can do with this is you can clear out like small pockets of areas, things like that. Honestly, my personal thought process is you should almost never use this to truthfully hit a bomb site. This is a super situational ability, right? For example, they could be up window. You flash and clear window, right? It's not necessarily a flash, like a traditional flash. It is more of a piece to grab information, right? Using it on defense, you should pretty much only really use it to set yourself up on a bomb site to help you anchor, right? Sentinel's entire goal is to be as self-sufficient as possible, and this flash allows you to do that, comboed with the thorns and things like that, right? Like if this guy is taking 6 ticks while running at you and he gets full blind, you are absolutely destroying this guy. Making, again, throwing flashes like this, it might seem kind of stupid, but again, this guy's not going to expect the flash here, right? If there's pre-firing you or things like that. Also, it's like Cypher cam placement is kind of the similarity, so it gets really weird. If you jump out a window and get on this box, you can throw like better ones. Like you can throw one like right here, for example, which can help you for heaven. It can help you for here. And things like that, right? Always making sure that you have a flash that roughly hits everything. Putting it probably like right here is going to be fairly good, right? But obviously you have to understand the timing. Like this flash is not going to blind this guy, right? So if you throw the flash here, you're obviously playing to kind of hold this backside angle, right? Being conscious, not overextending. And again, once you use the flash, you should go for a peek. You don't have to fully commit, right? Because there's always going to be someone playing anti or potentially just not at the right angle for the flash. So you go for it. You don't always have to commit to gunfights. A lot of people think that you need to get your one, and that's really not the job of a Sentinel. It's definitely a perk of the job, right? It's definitely like a really good Sentinel players are always going to get their 1 or maybe even 2 when they're anchoring a bomb site. But realistically, your job is to hold this bomb site as long as possible. So if you're being annoying, you're sending out jiggles, right? You're not fully committing to a fight, and you're making these guys use as much util or as much time as possible to clear you. You are doing your job. Even if you don't get 1, you're still doing chip damage, you're still being annoying, you're still stalling, and things of that nature, right? Now, here's the thing. Don't throw your vines like this. Okay, these get walked up on, broken really easily. As you can see, it's very big. Always throw your thorns kind of out, right? Out of the choke. It's the same premise with mollies, right? Because now, right, if you pop it off of timing, there's not going to be a guy who can beat this timing, right? It is almost impossible if you're literally just sitting here just going like this, for him to get all the way through the molly, right? He has to either run at you, and you can sit here and talk like this and just make him take a shit ton of chip damage. You can even spam him through the box if you want to, right? You can even jump in classic his ass. Like, if he's taking that much damage, it's going to be miserable, right? Obviously, for here, if you have a site player, you kind of want to throw it here, right? So if you have like site smoke, you can sit here, and then they have to go through the smoke and take a bunch of damage, and you'll know if they're in the smoke, so you can spam it, right? But if you don't, you're just by yourself, you're playing ranked, just throw that shit all the way over here. Because boom, you pop that, right? Being fast, get back to your angle, and then you can hear if this guy's skilling on you. You can just, ooh, I'm taking a fight against a guy who's slow, you know, stuff like that. Pretty simple. Right. That's honestly like the big thing of how to do defense. Honestly, I think you can get away with kind of using the wall as just like, hey, this is my trip. I don't really need this. If they really like to hard hit bomb sites, I'm going to show it over here on C because I think it gives me a better example. If they really like to hard hit bomb sites, do this, right? Throw the wall deep as possible. As you can see, this wall is deep as shit, which means when they walk up here, they're not going to hear the wall close. Which means when this guy goes in and dashes, you instantly have a free 1v1. And then, because you can't get shot instantly, this is your free fight. You dash at him, basically, instead of hiding and playing scared, you put your foot down and go, you're taking the 1v1 against me, this is your fucking fault, you're shit, and you put him down. Simple as that, right? Obviously, again, you can just use the wall for info. And honestly, that's really all you have to do to play Vyse on defense, right? If they're hard slamming your bomb site, you can even throw your ult to stall them. You can use the ult to retake, things of that nature, right? But the same premise. On attack, okay? Here's the thing, right? On attack, you should save your wall. Kind of think of it like you're playing chamber, right? Don't instantly put it up somewhere. What you want to do most of the time is put it either A, if you have to use it at the start of the rounds, put it where no one is going. For example, if you are kind of lurking towards mid and they can walk down C, fuck it, put it here, right? But most of the time, you're going to want to just kind of still chill and kind of just work the map, right? You're a little bit of kind of a combination of a lurker and a pack player. What I mean by this is this is my thought process, right? I'm going to go grab my flash here because I don't have it and I need it to demonstrate this. For example, what you could do, right? Even though this doesn't give you like super hard info, what you do is you're putting pressure, right? For example, what you do, go flash. If it flashes someone, take a little fight here maybe, even spam through the wall, things like that, right? Clear out this mid position. What you can even do, right, is if you really think that someone's going to push something, you instantly throw the razor vines. Like something that I like to do, right, is if they have an opper, I know that the opper probably wants to take this fight. So I'm going to sit back here and I throw this and I pop it. Because now he has to take chip damage. He's definitely going to get onto the angle, right? So I throw it and I go here and I tuck. He's definitely going to get on the angle. But if he tries to overextend out, I hear him and I can take a quick just jiggle fight on this guy. Potentially kill him. Or he just takes a shit ton of damage sitting in the molly, right? And just moving through it. You clear this. And once you clear this, this is where it's like, all right, this is what we're doing. So boom, I throw the wall. You would come pretty much like the place that you need to reclear stuff. So short, right? The fastest way possible. And then here, this is where you can really set up, right? If they don't flank, you can save your wall for post. It's really good. But most of the time, you're going to save your mollies for something like this. I don't know why I threw that heaven. But mainly like here through CT, things like that. You can't throw them heaven, but probably not. Mainly just here. You can do like double mollies CT. Or, I'm not going to show you lineups because I don't know. But this is like, just imagine that this like actually lands somewhere competent, right? You can use these thorns Fuck. You can use these thorns on a hit, right? They are really good on a hit. One thing that, for example, like this piece of thorns here is really good for like hitting a site. This is better. If you find a thorn lineup that lands right here, the guys who are flooding are taking a shit ton of damage. If they want to get off, they're taking a shit ton of damage. And they're also slow, which means they can't flood as fast. The way Valorant works and the way defense works, you're usually going to be playing against people who are being very proactive, moving down the map, taking gunfights. So most of the time, the goal is to just instantly run onto the bomb site and retake. So if you have a lineup that lands right here, it is going to bully the guy coming in. I like these types of lineups. I know some people like to throw them like just to clear out an angle, even though it doesn't really clear them. It more of just like makes their fights worse. But preferably throw a molly, kind of stop them from flooding is honestly my favorite. I usually like to save one molly. Usually like what I would do is like, for example, this fades, we have a smoke, I throw another one, and then if they like throw utility, right, like they throw a flash, I instantly pop that, right? Basically what this does is it just makes them use utility that they can't capitalize off of because they have these like mollies in front of them. And obviously having two of these, you can double up, you can throw one on the hit, use one for post, you can use both for post, you know, you can use one to like stop an aggro peak, things like that. Throwing like this down short, for example, is really good. I'm pretty sure if you literally just sit here on the barrier and insta throw this like this, and you just pop it, it should potentially beat the guy on the timing. So if you have a teammate like an Omen who TPs here, he'll hear him run and try to wide swing, and you'll be able to call it. Or like you'll be able to just take a close fight against a guy who's slow peeking into you, right? Things like that. These are the things you need to think about on Vyse. These are the ways that I use Vyse. Honestly, in ranked, most of the time lurking is not necessarily great because you're just kind of doing stuff that's not going to get capitalized off of, unfortunately. Yeah, if your teammates like slam the bomb site and they win it, right, then you get like a nice timing through mid, you can cut the rotate off. But most of the time they usually like die is my thought process. So on Sentinel when I'm playing attack, unless my teammates kind of give me a reason to, I don't really lurk. I'd rather just pack up with teammates, trade them and things like that. And on Sentinel, you are the #1 trade guy, which means you're pretty much going in dead last and you're swinging out of the smoke dead last, and always like if there's a smoke in front of you, your teammates are out, look at your mini map, find where the fight is, take the fight, right? Things like that. This is a pretty simple guide. I hope I didn't over explain anything, but I think I summed it up pretty decently. Honestly, playing Valorant agents to a fundamentally okay level is honestly really not that difficult. Just don't overcomplicate it. Stick to what you know and kind of combine things that you know from other agents onto other agents, right? Like, for example, if you know, hey, like, I know mollies on Killjoy work really well. Well, out here, right? Because a lot of people do that with KJ. Well, you can do it with Vyse too, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I will see all of you later. Peace.